Hi, welcome back to Crystal's Tarot. This is going to be a reading for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus sign for Gemini for November 2020. I wanted to remind you to always stay in your power, never give it away to a reading, a reader, anyone, or anything else. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Today's reading is intended to assist you on your path to your greatest and highest good. If you're interested in knowing the decks used in today's reading or you want to reach out to me for a personal reading, you can find all that information in the description box below. If you like the way that I do this reading or this reading resonates with you, please like and subscribe if you have not already done so. If you feel like this reading could be helpful to somebody you know, please feel free to share it. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and start our reading by cleaning out our energy. Go ahead and get comfortable. Inhale and exhale as it feels comfortable to you. Okay. So off the bat, I did want to let you guys know this is now the third time I'm recording this. What I was getting in the other two, I just kept having like technical issues. I had a call in the middle of it. I dropped the camera on the second one. And I don't like to do a reading where the energy is disturbed. I feel like it needs to flow and flow naturally. So I really didn't want to post either of the videos. I felt like I just wanted to start all over. But basically what I was getting in both of those is that there was something that you tried to make stable at one time, more than likely a relationship. You tried to bring stability to it, but it got to the point where it was too heavy to carry, too much of a burden to bear. And so you set that energy down and you're trying to transition from that energy. And by doing that, you kind of feel sad and disappointed in it. But at the same time, by releasing those negative energies, you're starting to feel more hopeful and more rejuvenated and regenerated. So I feel like we'll see what comes out, but I feel like Spirit really wanted to kind of drive that message home about putting down burdens that did not serve you anymore. And even though you might have spent a lot of time with it, it was something that has been difficult for you for quite a while. And Spirit has your back. Spirit wants you to know that they're there with you. They're protecting you and helping you during this situation. You might find it difficult and struggling with it at times. But at the same time, you're trying to bring balance and justice to a situation, but you feel a little foggy in it. You're trying to look at the things that you've built and the prosperity and trying to see if it's a good fit for you and how you can further grow yourself financially and emotionally to kind of heal any wounds. You want something that is fair and just for you, and anything that hasn't been, you want to bring clarity and truth to it and fairness to it. So we're going to see what this reading has for us today for Gemini for November 2020. Gemini, November 2020. Thank you so much. One more and then we'll get started pulling our cards. I am using the Viceversa deck, so I wait for the cards to jump out, not just flip with this particular deck. Gemini for November 2020. Gemini for November 2020. Gemini for November 2020. Okay, awesome. So on one of the readings I did, you had the King of Wands, and you also had the Magician in the same place, but it was actually in the reverse. So I feel like everything happens for a reason, right? So we're going to review those energies and kind of see what Spirit wants to tell us when we come to those. For Gemini for November 2020. Gemini, November 2020. Gemini for November 2020, Gemini, November 2020. You also had this card as well in the same position. Excuse me, not in the same position. It was in the upright as well, but it was at the bottom of the deck. We're going to review those energies as we get there. Okay. And you also had the sun in the reverse as well. This is the upright. This is the reverse. But it wasn't in the same position. The bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. So I feel like there's something that you're wanting to put movement towards, and that is loving, whether that be towards I feel like it's more towards yourself, not necessarily another person, but it can be. Let's pull our clarifiers. One more shuffle. Are you serious? So pre-message. You basically have, you have the Lovers and Judgment. They're both in the upright. What this speaks about to me is that they're just like I was getting before. There was a situation that you invested in because you love somebody, but they were not just. It was not fair. And so now you're being guided to let that go. And Spirit does have your back during this journey, during this process, during this transition. It was something that was divinely guided for you to be able to love yourself more than you love somebody else, and show Spirit that you have the ability to stand on your own and to love yourself and let people go if they don't show you respect and reciprocity in the way that it should. And I'm more talking about like an emotional thing. Like if you're trying to build something with somebody and you're being loving and just, and they're being hurtful and difficult and resistant, those are the energies that we're being guided to walk away from. Okay, one more. Gemini. Gemini, November. Gemini. Gemini. Okay. Sorry. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started with our reading. To clarify, the Page of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like at one point in time you were guided to pursue something because you were passionate about it and you approached it with love, but somehow the situation got away from you, and it didn't fulfill you in the way that you thought it would or hoped or expected it would. And you're trying to put yourself more on solid ground instead of having this crazy confusion as to, is this a situation that's good for me or not? Can this grow or not? In your current energy, you have the Knight of Cups in the upright, clarified with the Death card. What this tells me is that, just like I was getting before, the situation that you offered love to, that you approached it out of love and responsibility and genuineness, you're putting an end to it because it was not fulfilling. It did not give you the victory that you felt like it would. With the energy crossing you, you have the Six of Wands clarified with the Seven of Wands. So in the situation or with the person, you had to constantly defend yourself. And you don't feel like it was victory. You feel like by walking away is the best way for you to have victory. This is the victory card, the Six of Wands in the upright. This is in the reverse. So either way, it's still the victory card. You will be able to defend yourself in a situation and you will be able to walk away from it. But notice like all these people, like they're at a battle basically. Everybody's bloody on here. There's all kinds of smoke in the background, but he's still carrying the victory wreath on his sword of truth. Or his wand of truth. And I feel like this difficultness that you have endured of defending yourself and you feel defeated, you feel beat up in the process, but you know by loving yourself and moving on by the way that you're inspired to, you know that will ultimately lead you to victory. But as you can see, this has been a difficult, hard fight for you, which is why you have to walk away from something that you wanted to provide your love and your cup to, because it's defeated you. It's defeated you emotionally, hopefully not physically, but it's depleted your energy. It's depleted your zest and your inspiration in some elements. So you're just putting that down and walking away from it. You're allowing it to rest. In the energy that's underlining you, you have the Knight of Swords clarified with the King of Chalices. So what this speaks about to me is deep within your soul, you put movement of love towards something. And you put a lot of energy towards it. You put passion and movement and truth and honesty and integrity. And that's not what you got. And you're kind of like at your soul, you do want to have a loving connection, but you're kind of like doubtful at the moment. But not to say that this can't change. I just feel like the situation that you find yourself leaving has caused you to have a lot of doubt about elements of yourself and what you can expect in your future. And so now you're trying to put your passion and your truth and your movement towards things that will bring you fulfillment. I don't feel like this person or situation was there the way that you thought it would be. It brought like a hollow victory and you felt tied to it and bound to it. And so now you're being divinely guided to move away from that energy and to follow your dreams, follow your bliss, follow your joy. In your recent past, you have the King of Wands clarified with the Ten of Cups. So you do want love very much. You do want to have that happy home, happy life situation. But it just hasn't brought in you the victory that you were hoping for in your current situation. So I feel like in your recent past, this person or situation might have came to you and say, hey, I really do care about you, but you just don't feel it. They might have passionately communicated things to you, but at this point, you're just not feeling the love that you once did. In their crowning energy, you have the Magician in the upright clarified with the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles came in the reverse, but it did flip into the upright. So what this is actually the wheel. Sorry, it made me think of the Magician. So I feel like that's what you're trying to create. You were left out in the cold, and now you're trying to turn the wheel in your favor. And that's actually what I'm getting. So this is the wheel in the upright. This is it in the reverse. And it is the Magician behind there that has the ability to move that wheel the way he wants. He's deciding what's best for him now or her. Because you've been left out in the cold, you're thinking about ways that things that you're disappointed in. How do you turn it in your favor? How do you turn it to a benefit? And you're trying to actually create those things in your life that bring you joy and abundance. That's funny. That is the Magician. So I feel like, but it's on the wheel card. So I feel like now you're the one, you're taking action, you're taking control. Instead of putting your energy into a relationship that was not fulfilling to you, you're now trying to put it into things that you feel like will turn your world around, give you more joy, give you more prosperity, give you more integrity. Things that you don't have to fight so hard with and things that you don't feel locked out from. You want something that's going to be authentic and that's there because it wants to be there, not because you talked it into being there, and not because it feels guilty or whatever the situation is. You want something that's genuine and authentic. You don't want to leave anybody out in the cold, and you don't want to be left out in the cold. So you're looking for a relationship that provides that to you. In your near future, you have the Strength in the reverse, clarified with the Seven of Pentacles. I'm sorry, Temperance. What in the heck is going on? That's funny. This is a good deck. It like really it provides a lot of messages. So this is Temperance in the upright, and this is Temperance in the reverse. So in your near future, you might look at things that you've been creating and building and say that it's not abundant, it's not balanced, with the Temperance card here. But you have the lion down here, which is a symbol in the Strength card. And then you have the bird, which is a high and indication of like spiritual energy, divinely guided, intuitive thoughts, right? So I feel like you're in your near future, you're going to be looking at how you can build things differently, how you can make things more fair and balanced. And you're going to use your internal strength and your internal guidance system to get there. Because you want to create things, but you're looking at what you have created and you're not satisfied with it. And so now you want to have something that's balanced and fair, something that's even, and something that is truly yours, and an authentic reflection of the person that you are. And I feel like you're relying heavily on spirit to get there. And you're trying to find a new doorways to walk through, whether that's emotionally or mentally or physically. You're trying to create new things in your life that are abundant for you. And you're just trying to stand in your inner strength to bring that balance back. How you feel about yourself, you have the Sun in the reverse clarified with the World card. So this is the Sun in the upright, and this is the Sun in the reverse. So what this speaks about to me is that there's been things that that you kind of put a foundation on, but now it's transitioning. There's things, it's an up and down, right? It's a cycle that moves around. You can also be moving, and that makes you feel disappointed and discouraged. But with the horse here, I want you to realize this is the upright and this is the reverse. Either way, whether you're happy or sad or indifferent, whatever you're feeling, spirit is there to comfort you and to guide you during this process. At one point, you will be able to turn things around and have a more balanced environment where you're happy and joyful in. But right now, you're just not seeing that your needs have been met. You're not seeing that you're happy. You're not really seeing much to celebrate in. But do understand that no matter what happens, even though it's dark and cloudy right now, and you might have people coming against you with these people on the tower that are above you, you're down here with spirit, and spirit is comforting you and trying to show you the way. Spirit does have your back, and they will be there to protect you and guide you. Other people see you. You have the Knight of Pentacles clarified with the Knave of Wands, which is basically the Page of Wands. So I feel like other people see you as like you're abundant, you're able to create things, you're able to passionately communicate things. And I feel like you're passionately communicating the things that you do and don't want in your life, the things that make you happy and the things that don't, the things that you feel grounded in and the things that you don't. And so other people are kind of seeing that, and I feel like they might be feeling a little bit discouraged and depleted themselves, because I feel like maybe this was an energy that tried to overtake you or overshadow you at times. And now you're trying to be honest and loving and truthful towards yourself. And that's causing them to kind of reflect at their own situation. I doubt that they'll give you credit where credit is due. I think that they've learned a lot from you. They look up to you in certain ways, but I don't think they'll ever actually acknowledge that to you. What you're hopeful for. You have the Seven of Cups in the upright clarified with the Hierophant. So at some point, you are hopeful, and let me show you in the reverse and in the upright. So in the reverse, this is basically where we're deceiving ourselves, where we're imagining things that aren't there. But you have it in the upright where they're actually there. Spirit is guiding you towards opportunities and abundance that you can actually create, and that will have long-lasting things that I feel like you're hopeful of the many opportunities that can come in that you see the potential for, but at the same time you're fearful of making long-term connections and commitments that kind of dissipate and disappear in the end. You want a solid foundation, and you want somebody to be on the same level as you, where you guys are committed on the same level. And I feel like Spirit is actually guiding you to be able to receive those things in your future. Okay, so your final outcome, should everything remain the same, you have the King of Cups in the reverse, clarified with the King of Pentacles, the Judgment card, and the High Priestess. So what this speaks about to me is that you're not going to be putting actions of love going forward. You want to see action. You don't want to trust people for what they can do. You want to see what they are doing. You don't want to see some potential. You want to see what they've actually created. And Judgment, because there were things that you had to pass, and things that kind of, I feel like it destroyed your ego. It destroyed your, or chipped at least, your sense of worth, your sense of stability, sense of security. And so now you're just letting those things pass and saying, okay, anything that is just and that's honest and sincere, come back to me. And if it's not, stay away from me. And you're trying to use your intuition to know what those things are, to know what you can trust and what you can't trust, to know where your abundance is and where it's not. So I feel like you're no longer, I feel like in the past you've always trusted and leaped. You believe people for what they said and not what they did. And I think that going forward, you're really going to be standing in your power and saying, okay, show me better than you can tell me. Don't talk about it, be about it. I think it's going to be those kind of energies. And me personally, I think that's a great way to go. Before we pull some of those, let's go ahead and get some additional clarifiers. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's allergy season or what, but my throat is kind of irritated with me today. I have been kind of talking a lot, more than usual. Gemini. All right. So, and at the bottom of this deck, you do have the Six of Wands, the Victory card. So I feel like you definitely should expect victory in the final outcome. I know right now it's a little bit difficult. It's probably more than you want to bear. But I feel like if you take the road less traveled, if you make decisions that are best for you, even if it's not easiest for you, it's going to lead you to victory. One more shuffle and then we'll pull additional clarifiers. Okay. So, I feel like the recent past, it is what it is, right? You didn't get what you were hoping for. You didn't get what you provided. Let's not spend too much energy there. Let's get some advice for your current situation for Gemini for November. You have the Queen of Cups, Gemini. The Devil in the reverse, Gemini. The Two of Cups, Gemini. Okay. So you spend a lot of time coming to this decision about a love connection. You probably lost a lot of sleep, a lot of difficult evenings where you spent thinking about this energy because you do love this person and it's difficult for you to let them go. But you realize that it's a toxic energy. It's not healthy for you. And you're trying to release that. You're trying to be genuine and authentic to yourself out of love and compassion. You're trying to show yourself the things that weren't shown to you. You're trying to show love to yourself. And you know that that's more important than anything right now. And so that's the energy that you're sitting in. And if it's not, that's what Spirit is advising you to do. And the crowning energy for Gemini. You have the Three of Wands. So even though, let's review these energies again. So you have the Wheel card in the reverse, which causes you to be the magician, to say, okay, this isn't serving me anymore. It's not suiting me because I've been left out in the cold. How am I going to make my wheel turn now? What do I want? What's going to bring me abundance? What what do I want my world to look like to make this wheel turn in my favor, to bring in my prosperity and abundance? And then you have the Three of Wands to clarify that even further. So even though you've been disappointed and left out in the cold, you focusing on yourself and turning into the magician, to be able to set forth the things that make you feel joyful, the things that make you feel abundant, to bring in your prosperity, to be able to manifest the things that you feel grounded in. All you have to do is sit there and decide what it is that you want to create, and actually wait for spirit. I don't feel like there's much you have to do other than love yourself in this current situation. Love yourself through the pain. Have patience and consideration for yourself, and know that spirit has your back. Spirit is here to comfort you and to guide you through this muddy water, so to speak. And when you come out of it, you will have victory. Your wishes will be fulfilled. So you're just waiting for your wish fulfillment to come in. So you just have to really decide what it is that you want. Send a lot of clarity to that situation and trust spirit to bring it in. You order your pizza, now just wait for it to be delivered. Okay. So you have the Seven Pentacles again to clarify your future energy, with the Page of Swords. So I feel like spirit is really sitting there. Okay. So you have the Five of Wands that came out again. And I'm not sure if you guys have read my, or listened to other videos, but I strongly say that this is a book that spirit wrote for you. And in that book, when there's multiple cards that repeat or multiple energies that repeat, it's like as if spirit's highlighting those energies in that book. So you can really be aware and pay attention to those energies, where they fall, the cards that they're surrounded by, the energies that they're surrounded by. So you have the Five of Pentacles first, with trying to, like, you were left out in the cold, and then now you're trying to manifest your wishes, your hopes, your wish fulfillment. And then you just got to sit there and wait for it, and spirit is going to help you to have your wish fulfillment. And now to clarify your future energy, which was the Temperance card in the reverse, clarified with the Seven of Pentacles. Now you had, and then to further clarify that, you have the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Five of Pentacles again, and the Ace of Wands. So what this speaks about to me is to really look at the things that you've built and where you're building things, and be truthful with yourself. Be honest with yourself and have passion, and communicate that in a passionate way for yourself, to yourself, the things that you want, the things that bring you joy. Instead of focusing on being left out in the cold, I feel like spirit's telling you to really focus on what you want in your future. What makes you feel joy and content? What makes you feel like you're thriving instead of surviving, and focus on those energies. Can we get more clarifiers for your future energy, please? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, and the Tower. So the Tower speaks about having a foundation that was not built on truth. It had not all the facts in there. It wasn't something that was honest and true. It was basically a foundation that was built out of deceit, I wouldn't say dishonor. It was something that was built that didn't have the ability to stand the test of time. So now spirit had to come along and shake things up to release the things that no longer serve you. I know that some people could be scared of the Tower energy, but I feel like it's actually something that is, it's a healthy thing, in my opinion. It allows you to remove the things that no longer serve you to bring in the things that do. And with it being a tower, it's something that's divinely guided. It's a high arcana, right? So it's not just the basic run of the mill. It's something that is divinely guided, divinely encouraged. And whether you did it or spirit caused it to happen on its own, it was something that was always meant to be for your greater good. So what I'm getting from this is to understand that this tower was for a reason. This tower had to fall because you felt left out in the cold. And then you looked at where you were inspired, what you were passionate about, and you were looking at it to see whether or not it was something that was fulfilling for you. If you were getting an even shake for what you're putting into it. And it caused you to be truthful with yourself that no, it's not. It's not what I want. Now I have to walk away from it and rebuild somewhere where it's a solid foundation, right? Because you want to bring in balance. You want to bring in fairness and authenticity. And you can't do that if you're living yourself or somebody in your environment is not being authentic. Sorry. Okay, let's go on how we feel about ourselves currently. How is Gemini seeing themselves? So this is a truth that you've wanted to communicate for a long time. I feel like it's also something that's been bubbling up for quite a while. I feel like this negative energy has kind of been there for quite a while, but you've been pushing it back, and now Spirit's saying, look at it. And the reason why I feel like that is it's basically like a wound. If you get a little cut and you tend to it and clean it and take care of it, it's good. We can move on from it. But if you get a little cut and you don't clean it and it gets some more germs in there and you still don't clean it and it gets more germs in there and you still don't clean it, all of a sudden it's a nasty limb it's going to fall off. It's gross. It either has to fall off or get cut off, especially with this tower here. So I feel like this is an energy of you haven't been happy for quite a while, but you forced yourself to deal with it. And so I feel like Spirit's now saying, no, this isn't the world that we want for you. We want you to be happy. We want you to be content. We want you to feel love and abundance. And so you're not letting it go. So we're going to shake it. And not to say that you're not letting it go, because not on this one, but I did have the Six of Swords out earlier. So what that speaks, and you do have the Death card. So you did allow something to transition, but I feel like you're having a hard time dealing with it still nonetheless. And I feel like Spirit's just telling you it's something that you've been hurt by for quite a while now. So even though it's hurtful to let it go, and you might not necessarily want to let it go, but you are, because you see it's for your best interest. You see that it's going to bring you in happiness and joy. Okay, so let's see. I'm not going to take those. They have to jump. Okay. Like that. Okay, so you want to have passion towards something. You want to think passionately towards something again. You want to review the options and the opportunities that you have. And whatever one feels passionate to you and the one that you feel guided and you feel more stable in, that's the one you're going to go to. Because you do want love. You do want abundance. You have the Ten of Cups out here. Sorry, that was a different one. I tell you, I did 3 of these. But that was an energy that came out in one of your the pre ones. So I know that you do want love, but you want it to be authentic. You want it to be real. You want it to have reciprocity in it. You don't want there to be where somebody's being devious or deceitful. You want it to be balanced and fair, honest and truthful, where both parties are putting in the work. Both parties are on the same page. Both parties want the same outcome. Final outcome. Okay. And then you have Temperance in the upright for your final outcome. So by you allowing yourself to follow your intuition, oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Okay. Okay. You're trying to bring balance to something that somebody tried to get away with something. And now you're trying to get away from the situation, which is going to bring in, it's going to bring in a victory for you. It's going to bring in an award of some sort for you. And that's going to actually make you happy and joyful and feel abundant. So even though you had these energies in the reverse, like you had the Temperance in the reverse, you had the Six of Wands in the reverse, and you had the Sun in the reverse. Once you follow your intuition, they're actually going to end up in the upright at the end. By you stop just trusting and having blind faith towards people in your environment, by you actually focusing on yourself and following what is balanced for you, following what is fair for you, and getting away from those energies that aren't, it's going to bring you in victory and a great joy. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck. And you currently feel about yourself as it's in the reverse, but the final outcome is going to be in the upright. Just like what's crossing you is the Six of Wands in the reverse, but as long as you follow your intuition and your guiding system, is going to be in the upright. And then in your near future, you have it in the Temperance in the reverse, but in your final outcome, it's in the upright. So I feel like all of these cards, and they're all major arcanas as well, except for the Six of Wands and the Seven of Swords. But that's energy you're moving away from, which is giving you a victory. And then you're going to have the Temperance and the Sun in the upright, which are both major arcana cards. They're beautiful cards, in my opinion. Temperance speaks about balance, pouring from one cup into the other. So it basically, in my opinion, speaks about reciprocity, where things are balanced and fair, where it's done out of love. It's done out of a concern, a loving concern for all of people involved, even if it's just yourself. And then you have the Sun in the upright. So even though this is difficult for you right now, it's really a beautiful energy to have. And majority of these cards did show up in your other readings as well. So I feel like Spirit really wants you to know that. Let's see what's in the bottom of the deck. You have the Hermit. So I feel like Spirit really is advising you to go and spend time with yourself, to evaluate the situation, allow the Tower to come in, even things that you might not have expected, even if it's not just people in your environment. Maybe it's the way you think about things. Maybe it's the way that you've previously handled situations and relationships. And maybe you need to change the way that the dynamic between yourself and others. Maybe instead of just giving so abundantly, so easily, so quickly, maybe you let people show you that they're worth doing those things for before you just jump in and do them. And I feel like with your final outcome with the King of Cups in the reverse, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. Is you're not going to be acting out of love so quickly. You're actually going to let people show you who they are before you invest fully in them. You're going to let them show you if they're authentic or not before you proceed in a relationship or a connection or a commitment with a situation or a person. I think it's beautiful. Let's get some final messages for Gemini for November of 2020. Gemini, November 2020. Thank you, Spirit. Gemini. One more. Thank you, Spirit. Gemini for November 2020. Gemini, November 2020. Gemini, November 2020. Gemini, November 2020. Gemini, 2020. So you have knowledge that came out. And I feel like what this speaks about is by using your past hurt and your past pain and past difficult and a sense of defeat, by allowing that to kind of transition, it's allowing you to know what's truthful and authentic for you. And it's allowing you to awaken to the energies that you need to focus on going forward. It's allowing you're focusing on truth and knowledge. And eventually that's going to lead you to a romance that is authentic and genuine and pure of heart for you. That's genuine, whether it's for yourself or someone else. I feel like even though the situation has been difficult for you to bear and very trying, it's been a lot for your soul and your emotionalness. It's been draining for you, but it has taught you a lot, and it's allowed you to be honest and truthful with yourself and to be able to communicate honestly with the people that you interact with going forward, because you realize you no longer want to tell people things to make them feel better. You want to be honest with your communication, and it's going to allow you to have like aha moments and the other person to have aha moments, so that the romance that you end up with is something genuine, truthful, and sincere. It's something that's trustworthy and abundant, not something that you're going to have to leave eventually. Any more messages? And that's going to lead to some sort of announcement. So some of you might be leaving a situation that was no longer fulfilling for you to actually go into something where maybe you might have, you might be able to meet the person that's actually right for you, and you might get engaged to them, or there might be some sort of communication. I just feel like with romance and announcement following that you might be leading into a partnership that's authentic for you that you will want to be engaged with and you'll want the world to know. Or it's going to lead you into a situation, whether for yourself or somebody else, where you're going to want everybody to see it, everybody to be aware of it. Even if it's not communicated, it'll lead to a presence that once you and you by yourself, or you and this other person that you might meet, once you guys step into a room, just the presence that you guys have is going to command attention. It will lead you, I feel like it's going to lead you to a power couple. And just your presence as an individual and your presence as a combination is going to be something that is attention grabbing. It's going to be inspiring and insightful to a lot of people in your environment. Okay, Gemini, this has been your reading for November of 2020. If this reading has resonated or you like my energy, please feel free to like and subscribe, especially subscribe if you have not already done so. And again, if you feel like this message would be helpful for somebody you know, please share it with them. We're going to go ahead and close off our reading by using our singing bowl. Go ahead and get comfortable. Inhale and exhale as it feels comfortable to you. One more time. Okay, Gemini. Till next time, I'm sending you lots of love and light.